guys, it's Jen with Cards Zen by Jen. And as you can tell, I did get my voice back, but it is not completely there yet, and I am still a little under the weather. So please bear with me if I do get any coughing spells during this. As you will notice, this is a video. Unfortunately, I could not go live on Monday at 2 o'clock. Sometimes life throws us a little curveball. And rather than working my typical 2 days a week, I'll be working 4 days a week for a while. So that brings me to my next question of Mondays at 2 o'clock. Does that work better for you? Or if we switched it to Monday evening at 8 o'clock, would more of you be able to join me live? So that might be a possibility, but I'd like to get your feedback on that first. So let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll go from there. So today we are going to do our 5-minute card, Manic Monday 5-minute card. This is the card that we're going to make right here. This uses the Art Gallery stamp set. This stamp set is in the annual catalog, and that comes out, I think it's out until, it's in the current annual catalog, and I think that ends in May right now. So today we are going to be using stamps, ink, and paper. But I also wanted to show you a couple of other things that were, when this originally came out, it was part of a suite. And they offered these dies with it. And you can see that the dies cut out the floral images. And what really sold me on these dies is this really adorable, I don't know if you can read this, it's backwards, of course, but it says, "Just want to say." And then the wording in this stamp set is so versatile. You've got the "I miss you," "Happy birthday," "Congratulations," "Good luck," "Sorry," "Thank you," "Best wishes," "You are lovely," and "I'm thinking of you." So unfortunately, there have been some deaths in the family lately, and I need some sympathy cards. So we're going to be using the "I'm thinking of you" today. And let's walk you through real quick how we're going to make this card. We are using 3 different cardstock. That was not me sneezing. That was my dog, believe it or not. I'm sorry about that. We are going to be using Old Olive, Basic White, and then you'll need a piece of the Blackberry Bliss. I absolutely love the Blackberry Bliss with the Old Olive. I think this is a beautiful color combination. It's one of my go-tos. I absolutely love it. So the Old Olive is going to be our card base. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to bring my cutter in here. So this is the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. And we are going to cut our piece of cardstock to 8.5 by 5.5. Discard the one piece. We're going to keep the second piece. We are going to cut our Blackberry Bliss to 4.5. So 4.5 by, oops, that is 4.5 already. How about that? To 3.25. I guess I grabbed the right piece of scrap there, didn't I? All right, and then our Basic White, we are going to cut that to 4 by 3. So 4 by 3. So this is the Monday before Thanksgiving. And if anybody else is feeling the same way, I'm feeling slightly overwhelmed. The turkey is still frozen. Not sure how this is going to go, but we'll see. All right, so to do our stamping today, we are only doing a little bit of stamping. We are going to stamp, we're going to stamp our floral image. And that was let me grab it here for you so I can show you. We're going to stamp the floral image, which is this one right here. We're going to use Fresh Freesia, which is one of the new in colors. And when we stamp this, I'm going to be going off of the paper. So anytime I stamp and I go off of the paper, I like to have paper underneath so I don't get paper on my wood. The other thing is that these are the clear stamps. So they don't have that cushion like you would have with the red rubber stamps. So if you have a piercing, a Stampin' Up! Piercing mat, you'll want to put that down underneath. I like to put that down underneath my scrap paper there. All right, super simple. We're just going to ink this baby up. And there's no right or wrong. We are just inking and stamping. Put that one up a little bit more. And another one. All right, so we have our design the whole way across. And now the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to bring our cutter back in. Going to bring the cutter back in, and we are going to cut this in 1-inch pieces. So 1 inch. Keep them in order. Don't mix them up. Your flowers might look a little interesting. You can mix them up. So keep them in order. There you go. So there's our pieces. While I have my trimmer out, I had some scrap pieces here, and I don't know what I did with them. So I'm just going to quickly trim scrap piece of the Old Olive, and I only need this to be a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. It doesn't matter how long it is, but it only needs to be a 1/2 inch. So we'll do that one. I'm going to do the same thing with the basic white. Again, I just need it to be a 1/2 inch. All right, that works. All right, now we can get rid of our trimmer for good. So the next thing that we're gonna do, bring our pieces back in here. We are going to start gluing down our pieces of our floral design. Just take some Tombow glue. I like using the Tombow glue for this because it just is a little bit more forgiving when you are trying to do placement. I like to do my 2 end pieces first. And it helps me to judge a little bit better where I'm putting those middle pieces and make sure that I get everything kind of evenly distributed there. That might be just a little too far that way. There we go. That's better. If you do that with your snail adhesive, you don't have that versatility. Once you stick it down, it is stuck. All right, there we go. We are, set. Looks like I smudged that a little bit. Of course, I had to get ink on my fingers somewhere. That's just how it works. Let's go ahead and score our cardstock. We are going to adhere that there, and we are going to just glue this down. That works. So the next thing that we're going to do is for our sentiment, we are going to use the I'm Thinking of You, and I'm going to use the Blackberry Bliss on this. So let's bring in my mat again, because this is a clear stamp. You want to give it that extra little bit of a cushion so that you can get a good image. And the nice thing about the clear stamps is that you can see where you're stamping and make sure that you get everything lined up. We're just going to snip off the end of that. We are going to grab that old olive piece. Don't tell me I lost it again. That old olive piece. And I'm just going to layer it just like this. And I'm just going to eyeball it. Stamps, ink, and paper. Just going to eyeball it. Oops. There we go. There is that. Hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Safe travels if you're traveling. Let's turn this over. Let's put on some dimensionals. I love dimensionals. They make me happy for some reason. What makes me really happy is whenever I use up all of the dimensionals. Now see that smudge? We're just going to cover that up. No problem. No big deal. Now, to add a little bit of bling to this, let's bring in our brushed brass butterflies. I love these. These are great for whenever you're mailing cards. They lay flat. I do mail cards that have the rhinestones on them, but I'm really careful about which ones that I use. So let's put a butterfly here. Let's put a large one down here. Oops, let's see if I can pick this up. There we go. Let's put a large one down here. And let's just put that one there. What do you think? There you go, your 5-minute card. You just have to do the inside of it and you are good to go. Let me show you one more thing. There is a painted texture embossing folder that came out with this stamp set initially. It's still offered by Stampin' Up, and I don't know if you can see that. It's still offered by Stampin' Up. It really does look as though it's just a painted texture. So let me show you real quick how you can step up this card. If you take this card and you take that old olive paper, and I just cut this to 4 by 5 and a 4 by 5 and a quarter, and then you layer that there and then put this on top, and look at how much that steps that up and just gives you a different look, more texture, just a different feel to it. So the embossing folder is a very easy way to enhance your cards. But for our 5-minute Manic Monday card, this is it. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to see pics of what you do with it. This is a very versatile design. You can do all kinds of stuff with this and do all kinds of different stamp sets. So I would love to see what you do. Also, in the comments, let me know if you watched. Let me know if you watched the replay or if you watched it at 2 o'clock on Monday. And please give me some feedback as to whether Monday nights at 8 o'clock might work better for you. It might be a better time once you're done with dinner and working and kids and all of that stuff to have a little bit more time just for yourself. So, hope you have a great week of stamping. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'll catch y'all next week.